Hey everybody, G4 Video 5 here, and welcome back to some more Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, the Definitive Edition. In this part, we will be completing the mission Photo Opportunity for Caesar.
CJ!
You got it?
Hey, my cousin just called me. He gave me a tip about a baller's car going to San Fierro to score yay.
Shit! We gotta find out who's supplying those cats.
Read your mind, Holmes. I picked them up at the Mulholland intersection, and I'm trailing them now.
Okay, I'm coming to meet you.
Better make it fast, Holmes. These boys aren't hanging around.
So this mission's a little strange, and not necessarily because of what we're doing, or the plot, or anything like that. Like, everything actually makes quite a bit of sense, where you have Caesar tracking this baller's car that seems to be on its way to pick up some old Snortski, some of that sniff powder, drugs. And, this is important because we want to put an end to that type of stuff that's been happening with Grove Street and the Ballas in Los Santos. And so, yeah, this will help quite a bit with that development, but the weirdness, I think, stems from the dialogue, because it sounds a lot like Caesar and CJ are shouting at each other, and we'll see that once we meet up with Caesar, but they're like shouting over each other as if they need to speak over something that's loud in the background. So in pre-development, it seems like this mission involved a helicopter in some capacity, where you'd be using a helicopter to maybe travel during the mission, which is why you need Caesar and CJ to shout over that helicopter noise. But in the final version of this mission, we don't have any helicopter business happening at all. We're just in a car next to each other, to where there's really no need to shout. But yeah, it's just interesting sometimes how that pre-development stuff makes its way sloppily into the finalized version of the game. But anyway, you can see we're doing sick tricks with the old boat here, as the boat is faster to get to Caesar, but this method is kind of counterproductive at this point, because we've trapped ourselves underneath the boat, which typically doesn't happen. I was just very sloppy, I guess, in terms of getting out of the boat, because I should have gotten out of it when it was more upright, but thankfully it gave birth to us right here, so we can kind of finagle our way out of that.
Hop in, Holmes!
I can only imagine Caesar's confusion, because he's over here on the side of the road just hanging out, and then you just have this boat flying out of nowhere at him.
Where we going?
They were headed over Angel Pine Way. Follow the road and maybe we can pick them up.
Ooh, old Angel Pine rearing its head once again as we crash into things back there. You know what happens from time to time, not that big of a deal. Dill, as some people might say. So to get to Angel Pine, we could use the roads for most of this trip, but we're actually going to do a bit of off-roading at times, which is exciting stuff, especially in a vehicle like this, which is very slidey when it comes to off-roading. It's a bit slippery and kind of annoying, so it'll make for an interesting little excursion, but I think we'll do just fine. Some people can make off-roading look like it's nothing. Some people are massive pros at doing that type of stuff. Me, I try to copy what speedrunners do in a lot of situations, but I'm not quite at that skill level to make these things look completely seamless anyway, as noted with that boat thing that happened a little while ago. But anyway, you see right here, this is quite a dangerous thing, and it's not just the off-roading thing. There's lots of these hills and cliff sides where you could just be driving on the normal roads, and if you end up missing your turn, or maybe braking a bit too late, you might find yourself just flying off the side of a cliff. So it's quite crazy stuff, but I do like navigating the countryside because you have these areas where you can off-road, and a lot of these cliffs and stuff where if you are mindful about jumping off of them, they can be quite fun to jump off of. And later on we have a desert area that's pretty similar to this, where you also have these off-road areas, and not just dirt paths, but this grassy hill that I just went through right there and ran over that guy. I almost think of those as alleyways. When you're in the city, you have all these alleyways everywhere that you can cut through, but here in the countryside, you have grassy hills and maybe dirt patches and farmland to do that same type of thing. Now, thankfully for this next part, I have a bit of photography experience, as I took photographs at a Taylor Swift concert I went to on August 15th, 2015 in Santa Clara, California.
There it is, Holmes.
Ryder, you shermhead!
This business is bigger than any gang, ese.
Ryder, little bitch! This guy take himself real serious.
That's T-Bone Mendez.
What now? Is that it?
Hey, who's the gringo?
I don't like the look of that guy. This more than a few thugs pushing product. It's a serious organization.
How many of these clowns are there?
Ah, I know a pimp when I see one. They being clever about this. It ain't no exchange of nothing incriminating.
Yeah, nothing incriminating, unlike your shouting, CJ. You wacky Weedle.
That was some heavy shit.
We better split up and get out of here. I'll meet you back at the garage, eh?
Coolio, we got what we came for anyway.
Awkward exchange and inconvenient drop-off aside, that wraps up this part. In the next part, we'll be dealing with Jizz by doing the mission called Jizzy B for the Triads. So until then, I will see you next time.